2014 began for MSM COO NP Singh with a bang, with him being elevated to the corner office replacing Manjeet Singh. 15 years at MSM India, formerly known as Sony Entertainment Television, NP has many feathers in his cap, key ones being the acquisition of Sub TV in 2005, second being the birth of Sony Max, a cricket and movie channel, and many more. But the most important being the creation of the distribution platform in One Alliance. I caught up with NP to chat about what's on his to-do list, the challenges he foresees, the network's interest in cricket, digitization, and everything in between. Listen in. Thank you so much for joining us, NP. Truly a pleasure to have you on Brand Equity.
Thank you. Pleasure.
First things first, many congratulations. You know, you were a long-standing, loyal employee of Sony, 15 years, 15th year, and still standing strong. What do you think are the key obstacles that currently, stand in front of Sony, which you need to focus on as, the top dog at Sony?
You know, the most important thing at this stage, from my perspective, is to get our flagship channel to turn around. We've had successes on that channel. In 2012, the channel was doing extremely well, but last year has not been particularly good for the channel. Our fiction shows have not performed as well as we wanted them to perform. Some of the existing shows that were doing extremely well started to come off.
Sure.
Kaun Banega Crorepati, which is a huge show for Sony, opened extremely well, but could not sustain its viewership. So, if you ask me what is my single point agenda, that is to turn around the flagship channel in the short term.
Coming to the next big bet that MSM made or Sony made with IPL. So, over $1 billion invested, and I guess now the onus is on you to ensure that this is actually in the long term. By 2017, this is a profitable venture. Give me your insights on how you think this property is doing, and for you to ensure that it's profitable, what are your plans? And B, what do you think, since you're one of the first broadcasters to have bet so heavily on cricket before anybody woke up, what do you think, in your experience, with the kind of valuations we're seeing today, do you think it makes sense to be betting on properties such as these? Do you think they're actually a bang for the buck?
Well, as far as IPL is concerned, yes, there is a bang for the buck. We made this investment in 2008, as you know. At that time, there were not too many believers. And when we made that investment, there were a lot of questions asked and doubts raised at that stage. But with the first season of IPL, a lot of those, most of those doubts were erased from people's minds. And the success that we saw in the first season and the second season as well has just carried on from there. That momentum has not stopped.
Right.
In the sixth season, which was the last season, last year, we crossed 200 million viewers. I cannot give a specific number because in between there was a universe change by time. So the cumulative numbers were never reported, but our estimate is that it was at least 225 million viewers. So we've seen a consistent growth in viewership on IPL, and the revenues have also kept track of the increase in viewership on IPL.
But my question is, are you on target in terms of, let's first make it break even. Are you on target to break even?
Absolutely we are. You should not just look at the advertising revenue that we earn on a property like IPL, but we need to look at the distribution mileage or muscle that you get with a property like IPL. And the two put together, we are very much on target.
On target for break-even or on target for profitability?
Target for profitability.
So given the fact that you're saying that IPL was actually a very good bet by you, does that mean that, post-2017 you will do a relook in terms of rebidding for the property?
Yes, goes without saying. We would obviously look at rebidding for the property. The valuations at that time will be different. We understand that because of competitive forces, and we will cross that bridge when we come to it.
The other thing is, your focus this year onwards on going regional. If you can give me some sense of, when you mean regional, are you going down south? And what kind of genres are you looking at? And, the bigger plan there, and why do you deem it important in the first place?
Yes, we are looking at going down south, and it'll be a acquisition-led strategy. At this stage, I cannot divulge too many details on that, but the genres that we are going after are general entertainment, movies, music. Those are the kind of genres that we are going after in the regional markets.
MP, one of your key fortes is distribution. So given that, how do you see the landscape changing with digitization?
Digitization in the 38 towns and the metros has happened, but in reality on ground nothing much has changed. So a lot of effort has to be made to make sure that ARPUs grow and MSOs start to get their fair share of revenue from ground, and therefore broadcasters start to get their fair share of revenue from ground. With digitization, all of us were hoping that carriage fee will go down. That has also not happened because the MSOs are still dependent on carriage fee to run their businesses, and they're not getting money from the LTO, so that pressure continues.
Sure.
I think it'll take at least 2 to 3 years more for all these issues to get resolved, and we have to work together to resolve these issues and move the ARPUs up, because unless the ARPUs move up, you'll not really see any value in the entire chain from the LTO to the broadcasters.
So in terms of distribution revenues, it pretty much is at a status quo.
There's been a growth. Let me not say there's not been a growth. There's been a growth, but not at the rate at which we wanted it to be.
And what about declarations?
See, that's a very interesting issue. We all talk about digitization will bring about addressability, but we really have not seen addressability yet.
Exactly.
Yeah. So while the set-top boxes have been installed at households, but those set-top boxes are not accounted for. So details of where the set-top boxes are installed are not really available with the MSOs, and everybody is working hard to including the broadcasters through our public service announcements. We're trying to make sure that those details start to flow to the MSOs so that they can set up their database and they can start invoicing the customers directly.
This was really a loophole in the way digitization happened, right? Because nobody thought that they need to track the set-top box. So it was a big faux pas of sorts.
It's from my, if I wear my finance hat, because that's my background, if your asset is going into the market, you have to track it. That's an obvious thing I would do if my asset was in the market. It's their asset. They need to know where it's being installed. I think the time was too short.
Okay.
And they were all under time crunch, and there was a delay in getting the boxes into the country, and there was a deadline, and they had to meet that deadline. So the first objective was to seed the boxes across the market, and then they'll go into the market and collect all the data. The latter part has taken far too long.
Would you agree that there's the big idea, the next big idea in the TV genre
is yet to come?
Is missing. I mean, nobody. I mean, we've been waiting for a long time.
Yeah, it's yet to come. It's yet to come. It's not for want of trying. I think everyone has been trying and is continuing to work at it, but it's yet to come. Honestly, we haven't seen a huge big idea in the last few years. I must confess that most of us try and do more the tried and tested. And I must give credit to Star and Uday for doing Satyamev Jayate. That was one breakthrough idea that they worked on, and they put it on television, which worked in many ways. But from a viewership perspective, from a ratings perspective, it did not deliver as much as they would have expected to deliver. But it was a great idea. Yeah. It was a great idea.
On that note, thank you so much, NP, and many congratulations once again, and all the very best for your innings as CEO of Sony. hope we'll see Sony grow to heights we've never seen before.
Thank you very much. Thank you so much.